Hello, greetings. This is another live by Chad Murdoch. Um, the title of the video is named Soul Trafficking. Might not be here too long. Just felt like to make this video. Well, I've been dealing with about certain things, right? And I feel like that's why I hadn't made the video initially because of certain, especially because of certain circumstances. But it comes down to time. Um, I just want to express. I don't really care if this is scrutinized. I, I don't even like to go on this long-winded to deflect or defend myself against any derailment or any attack against my narrative or whether it's going to be considered a narrative, right? Gonna be considered a narrative. I don't really care. I'm a grown man. I'm 26. I don't believe I'm dealing with any mental disorder when it comes to this. Cause what is really mental disorder, right? You live in this world with all the traumatic events that occur. What is really mental disorder? Are you trying to say because I'm not soft or I'm not sheltered or because I wasn't as privileged as certain people, I don't deserve the right to have an opinion. And then the thing is, the people who've been sheltered is the people opinion you should care the less about because they've not experienced or they're not wise to these kind of things, certain things when it deals with taking precaution for oncoming danger, right? You won't trust somebody. Not saying that necessarily they don't have their best intentions in the right place, right? Their best intentions in the right place, right? Is that the fact that, you know, they're not an expert in this division, right? So you wouldn't take someone who's homeless, right, and turn and take everything that comes out of their mouth as gospel, who's homeless, and turn them in basically into a scientist with no credentials. But we're seeing that happening today, you know? We're seeing that happening all over. But what we're seeing the byproduct of whenever this is being done for the goodwill of the people. And we feel as we have this impression that it's actually for the goodwill of the people. Same thing, because I just woke up. I never just woke up, but I've been studying, and certain things just feel like it lock into my mind right now. So I still go talk as long as I feel like to until whatever idea or concept. But I just want to state for the people out there who watching certain type of people. I know that y'all like to get your feathers ruffled very easy. Um, a lot of women who practice occultism, witchcraft, I notice that you people dwell in the darkness and pretend like you're normal people when you're really jinn. You maybe not even aware of it. I don't really care. Not my concern. That's your own problem. But I notice whenever I come around and say anything, y'all get your feathers ruffled. And it's never been an attack against you. There's never been from my end. I'm not trying to play the hero. 'Cause I understand what this all is. And all these gimmicks that they throw in front of our faces, and they've basically stripped us of any identity, culture. Well, us here in the West, so we have nothing to type ourselves back to or even to fight for. Because what are we fighting for, anyways? They've colonized everything, right? They've unleashed the paramounts of demons upon the earth. It's just that they've erased our understanding of certain sciences, high sciences, and it was only privy to a certain class of people because not everybody can have the mental fortitude to handle seeing evil demon, parasitic demons everywhere. That's why certain rituals, certain um um geometric, what you call it now, geometric architectures and structures were built up to prevent demons. You know, like the pyramid. The pyramid is just a generator to recycle the ions in the air and make it clean. Basically, it's clean. It's cleaning the air of pollution, right? And this also has a extent and effect to you as a person. If you're in the field, it cleans you as well. So this is the science that then they either, I don't really know, because I don't really know for a fact whether or not these people understand it, because it's clear as today that they've come on to some level of understanding since, you know, they found out why why the Egyptians worship the beetle, had the beetle as a sacred, and they would like to make us give us this impression that um with sun worship and all these things are bad, right? Uh, right, to separate us, cause that's what ghetto mean. That's what ghettos mean. Ghetto means to be separated. Separated from what? Separated from what? So they have us, right? Majority of us, they bring all the invasive groups into our indigenous lands over here and have us fucking confused. You know, and demons be walking up and down. And some of these creatures that they bring over here, you know, now they create this narrative to block us off with the term racism, right? So now so when I was going, I say like fucking hobo go goes, Densman round sitting next to me, with big old four bro, fucking like it's crazy, bro. And these people don't have no these humanoids don't have no sympathy, and you can't unveil them because it going to offend them, but they can attack you all forms of way, diminish your population, And it's cool. It's all one, right? It's all one, right? It's all one, and they trick you with the trigonology, as they call it, nigga. Then what you call it? The nigga with the big head, Yakub trigonology, trigonology. Right, so how they soul trafficking, right, is by keeping you asleep. And when they keep you asleep, right, your subconscious mind goes in autopilot, right? And certain events that takes place in your life, you're not conscious of certain things. You're not aware. You're not using your senses, your other senses, right? So now people get into astral projection and all these other shit that the esoteric shit they like for sprinkle down like it's cool and you have fun with it and you don't know nothing about what you're doing. You don't know to clean your environment, cleanse your environment. You don't even have the mental, not even let's see if it's a mental fortitude. Because some of the lifestyle that some people coming from now into the pandemic and all them shit here, y'all was living at like you're on a like you're a pansy, like you're a sissy. This is why majority of y'all know, majority of people now wearing dress confused about what their identity, what their gender was, not even identity, their gender, where you can just look into the mirror. You didn't even need to look into the mirror, right? But now people confused because people were practicing these things, especially during the pandemic, and now lose their self. Now is an alter ego. This is how these demons and jinns appear. Jinns might appear from birth, but a demon can appear any time during the stages of your life, right? Where you're vulnerable. When you go into these astral worlds, you have to. The thing is, I'm not going to talk about any other high level, cause I feel like certain people, especially women, should not be getting themselves into that, right? So the thing is, you're vulnerable when you go into these, because really and truly is the imagination. So your imagination is limited to your perception, but that don't mean say because you made an arbitrary assumption that it is what your belief is or interpretation of what's going on is 100% true. So there's things that going on beyond your comprehension because of certain fundamental institutions that had programmed your mind to be a certain way or see things under a certain light, only a degree or a spectrum of light, right? So the thing is, when you go into these worlds, there's energy, different type of energy, and what people where you seeing this now transition into how the people view people on a scale, on a whole scale, right? We all think we in this la la land, right? Where everybody is to be good, is good in nature. Everybody have the capability of producing good, which is not true. Which is not true. Some people are agents. Their agency is against God, the supreme creator, right? That's when you're not anchored by a God, a benevolent God, right? When you're not, that's the thing. Many are people who go into these things and anchor. This is why they're so susceptible to being attacked And some of that, sometimes the attacks are not, you know, not no big blow to you, cause uncharacteristically they're not going to, even the Bible describe them like vipers. And a fully grown viper, an adult viper, only release a certain percentage of its venom into its host, right? Because when it's hard to produce more or manufacture more venom when they release all of it, right? So now they're going to be vulnerable themselves. So the thing is with these demons, these more mature demons, right? There's some of them, right? There's certain classes to it, right? I soon get to you onto soul trafficking. There's certain classes of it. They want to give you this impression, say, is aliens, right? Aliens like biological life forms, right? That's carbon based like yourself, right? What we are dealing with is something whole different that we've been dealing with from, almost seems like what, um from my hypothesis, I'm never going to say factually, right? From the beginning of time, from beginning of time, right? Or from the beginning of when from man have the ability to use his imagination. Let me put it that way, right? Instead of beginning of time, right? So these demons now they have certain levels of class, right? So demons practice classism. So that's where all of this manifested from with classism is demons, right? And they have a hierarchy systems, right? So notice, so like I mentioned, people coming out sissy and all these stuff, because there's some people practicing, some people unconsciously practicing astral projection, and they go into these dimension unprotected. They go into these alternate states. Let me say it like that: alternate states, unprotected, vulnerable, and these some demons will latch on. If they're powerful enough, they can totally suppress you inside your whole entire body and take over, right? And nobody will ever notice because they've been monitoring you the entirety of your life. Wait until that very moment that you would screw up and give them the scapegoat to take over your body, right? So now you see a lot of people who now go and commit some start get themselves into addictions, like serious addictions like heroin, like um set themselves up to be a prostitute, you know, things in at that level and lower, right? So how they soul trafficking, they now tricking us to attach us to this world, right? To make us grounded to this world, uh, become materialistic. So we cycle back into reincarnation. So our souls keep on being tortured all over, but we never grow. We don't really grow mentally, spiritually, or physically. We just come here, then shit happen. We can't manage, we die off, then we come back to repeat the same thing. And they generate this soul trafficking. They allowing our souls to vibrate on a lower frequency, right? Because that's how everything in the heaven is. Everything in the heaven is frequency, right? Everything in the air, ether, right, is dealing with frequency. But on the state of the yang side, which is earth, right, is like biochemically and mechanically things is really hard to explain, but it's like mostly formulas and understandings and philosophies. Because what the Bible says, everything is run by principalities, right? Is a war against principalities. And that's what we're really warring against, because the principles that they've given you is what how they masking what they're doing, right? What is not what they're doing, is what's going on. God, this all before them. And what is the things that the thing is that you have a cup, right? And you have the cup, and what you're noticing that you are pouring something into the cup, but you start talking to your friend, this friend, right? You start talking to your friend, and you're not noticing that the cup is overflowing now, and it's pouring out and it's gushing out, and you're still pouring into the cup, but because you're so engaged with the friend, it's like you say, fuck all what's going on around you. You're so enamored, you're so engaged, you're so, you know, with this conversation that you're having, communication, right? That you're saying, fuck, spilling whatever you're pouring on, right? So that's what happening to the earth, right? So these demonic creatures flooding the earth, and you're seeing it now manifest into different dimensions: pollution, murder rate, crime rate go up, you know, corruption, stuff like that. Like, you start seeing a lot of lower level um creatures, like certain type of insects you associate, like flies, mosquitoes, cockroaches. Even this don't only subjected to lower level um insects, but even animals like rats, anything that's associated with a negative connotation, right? Throughout history, you can see the influences of where demonic demonic manifestation or demonic energy is arising, right? Where you see a lot of these activities, you'll notice, even when you watch those paranormal movies or paranormal, you see all those things that they associate with it is also reflected. But these movies also limit your mind and make you have this paradigm of saying that is fantasy, right? But like I say, it's always come back down to a arbitrary assumption. You just assume that they made this up, right? You just assume they were making this up for your entertainment. One moment. So, how did soul trafficking your souls now? So now, alright, we're going to pretend like for a moment, because this is all allegory. All the stuff is allegory that they have attached some human characteristic to, to make a more digestible for human understanding. So let's say there's a character named Satan, right? Let's just say, right? So in with the state that we are at, right? With everybody getting into participating in the matrix and the state of the matrix of how it is now, right? Majority people vibrating at a too low level that they're not going to, all right, let's say, basically the moral of what I'm saying is saying that the trafficking, all of this is the bigger scale of this is to traffic your soul to the devil, right? They're making you sell your soul, right? And you can say there's a long story, where you can say, oh, the birth certificate when your mother signs you over and stuff like that, and the government playing God and basically trying to play, like, from my understanding with the eye in the triangle, they're trying to play warden, which is your the inner consciousness that observes everything, all your thoughts, everything that you go through, the thing that's not the only aspect of yourself that's not impure, that's a partial, right? That's able to differentiate from good and evil, right? So this is how certain people not, because that aspect of themselves is not there. So some people are like basically equivalent to NCPs, you know. Like I said, James, they're possessed. Some people, I'm not going to say this like as I've encountered somebody to that extent, but saying that if there somebody can be possessed by a demon, a jinn, and what I call him jinn is like somewhere to general status to high level S ranking, like um the titans of Greek mythology, right? Level demons, right? Where they're giants and stuff like that. So they can be incarnated in the vessel or they can attach to the vessel where they're just like a monitoring spirit pretending to be a guardian, but they're using the child or the vessel as for do whatever, because some of them not serving the devil directly. They're just trying to do their own thing. Some of them oppose the devil in a way where, oh, them for be top dog, right? So a whole heap of shit going on. That's why it seems so complicated. But is at the end goal is really not so complicated for your, if you is a good person, a good human being, a pure human being, it shouldn't be complicated for you. I don't know why people making shit so complicated. You're not making it seem like evil is hard to really judge, right? Or really make come to a definitive decision about. Like saying like, yo, this guy raped 5 babies. We have to take like 3 months to figure out whether this guy fucking is evil or not evil enough, or if he deserve to go to jail or put on death row. Which I wouldn't say to go to jail. I would say, yo, put him on death row. And this is where the racism, cause the context now of now where the certain people want eliminate or give certain people to bypass the system because they prefer their race to be able to what you would say, to supersede certain laws for imagery, to capitalize on imagery, right? Some people subconsciously doing it, some people consciously doing it, like where they don't want um the imagery of inferiority imposed upon them, right? And these are the demons playing these games in front of us. Because for the normal people, these things are not even really so much a big deal or a problem, regardless of our stature, or physicality, or mental. Especially for the fact, if you're not in physical, in stature, why would you invest your time to even find some relevancy in having an inferiority complex or superiority complex? Because you're not hitting the gym, you're not trying to become the strongest or the most wisest person in the land. So why would you possibly have any dealings? Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Because some for some people, it starts developing in them from their as children, So where is this coming from? You're not hitting no gyms. You're not making the sacrifices. You're not doing anything. You're not killing up yourself to become the mightiest of all. So you don't even like conflict. You If somebody fling a book at you, you start crying. So where the logics will ever come to be, cause you clearly dwell into being inferior to some people, right? You're okay with it being inferior to some people. You just don't like the idea of it being imposed, or you become very insecure. You never made the focus or prioritize this, if this was a problem to you when you was younger, but you always had it and did nothing about it. And instead of doing something about it, like changing, right, you go around and you penalize other people for your suspicion that they might think that you're inferior to them. You don't see how this is a long con game. It's just a long con game. Because, like I'm telling you, for the most part, these things had to be taught to me. When for some people, it didn't have to be taught. They've already practicing these things, manipulative tactics, and they might not be the smartest person. There's some of these people aren't even smart at all, but anytime they set their mind to anything mischief, the possibilities of how um elaborate it is always vast. And people know what I'm talking about. A lot of people, colored people out here, can identify with what I'm talking about too. Where you live in the hood or wherever you live, um, the hood, the ghettos, and you have that one person, not well, let's not say one, but you have those group of people who are just like what I just described. They lie, they're deceitful. You know, you don't know where these negative intentions, because you're saying, like, for the most part, you don't understand the situation that you're in. Right? When you're born, you don't really have, a grasp on even the you don't have a grasp or even a sense of direction of what you're in or where you should go towards, right? For the most part, you're going to have impressions to more gravitate to positive stuff, because those are the things that make you feel safe, right? Safe, especially if you see that you're in a position where you put as the black sheep. You're going to go towards more things that are uh, safe for your build, physicality, what you know you're able to put out, what you know you're able to deal with, what you trust, right? You know, things that you take a liking to based upon your personality, who you are as a person, right? So, for instance, me, I took up. I always like the idea of training. I always like the idea of knowledge, becoming wiser. I like those things. Um, there's many other stuff that I've. It's on my page, right? You get the idea of who I am. But you know, um, but for the most part, we don't have no sense of inferiority or superiority. Like, what is a 5-year old having problems with being inferior? This is something that's taught to a child, but for most part, some of us is not being taught to, right? Or they've never, concepts are in these these concepts concepts and ideas are they're not being taught, or they either were too illiterate to understand, or being they weren't even introduced to these concepts, or you know etc etc, right? But yet they still take it's still, play that black and white checkerboard. Cause on in chess, right? Who takes the first move is the white piece, right? So the white piece is always on offense, and the black piece is always on defense. But if you don't know your position on the board, you'll never be able to play right. And that's what it comes down to. That's why it comes down to the you'll never, because like the converse what I mentioned earlier, you're so engaged in the conversation that you're having with this so-called friend, right? Friend, friend, frigga, friend. Frigga is a is she Greek or Roman? Well, she's a Greek god. She's a Greek goddess, right? And she's also associated with Friday, I think the planet Venus, right? So she deal with attraction, right? She was very attractive goddess. I think she was um one of them goddess of beauty or something like that. So she deal with attractive forces. So what you see now, they're weaponizing these certain symbols, signs, and certain frequencies to distract the people from what's going on or what they're doing or what's going on, right? Uh, you know, they have their jinns, these people who are host to these demons, and they're making it set now. It's so easy for a demon to possess people because who is our only um especially in the Western world, who is our only combatants to demons in the West, right? We're the only combatants to the church, and the church has become more materialistic than people nowadays, right? Then if you backtrack it to the black church, notice there's a black church, right? Some I'm coming to the understanding or finding out that some of these pastors aren't even human, as in the context of, you know, well, it's hard to say like you and I, 'cause I don't know you, but it's that like no offense in any way. I just saying it like, but generally, I'm assuming my viewers going to be human, right? But some of them are vampires. I know it might sound far fetched, but in ancient understanding, they had an understanding that was beyond what we currently comprehend. So, thing is, you would not be able or capable of identifying a vampire today based upon the brainwashing or quote unquote indoctrination that you've been given. Because they're not going to give you indoctrination to be able to still see them. Like, oh, you can't see all the other stuff. And like I said, this was only for a few. Because why the fuck, right? In medieval times, if these people were just fake, why would they train and dedicate a whole force of people, like even legacies that been set in stone by vampire bounty hunters, Helsing, Van Helsing, and there's a whole heap more too. I'm just not very familiar with the names, but yeah, Van Helsing, and there's a couple Russian ones too. So if this was all fake news, right? Part of the fake news. So I'm not saying fake news is not real. Fake news been going on since seems like the dawn of time, since like the serpent. And I didn't want to drop into the serpent, but I didn't want to drop in the Adam and Eve story. But since I brought it up now, uh I wanted to make it sound live while dropping. Like with me, you won't see me do like how they do the marketing thing for hold back any information so to make you linger so you come back for more. I just can't capable of doing that. Um like I said, this is more so I'm not going to lie to the people. This is more so for myself than for you, right? I can't really do anything about you, so You are in your body and you make your own life decisions based upon your environment and what you're dealing with, the problems that you're dealing with, your demons. I can I have my own demons to deal with. I have my own burdens. I have all these, plethora of stuff to deal with in my life. And we truly don't know where we're going to go in life. But the thing is, you have to hold on, I guess, have faith. Although it's very hard to have faith, and you wonder what, because there is a lot of they've been propagating a lot of false prophets, a lot of false gods. So you don't know if you're really ever truly serving the right God until it hits you in your face. Right, that's when usually people find out when you feel unprotected or not safe. Right? Um, but the devil, like I said, the live name is just to backtrack a little bit. The live talking about soul trafficking. I'm not going to get down to the nitty gritty. Cause it's a very deep topic, and it's very hard to explain to a non initiative. When you're talking to somebody who's been initiative, you just have to point out one thing because it's all energy. It's all energy, even money, energy. Energy. Like spiritual energy, you have spiritual. So, with the thing is with people, why they should not astral project as how much as they do, you're not protected, first of all. You're not protected. Don't let the pastors fool you. You're not protected, right? Um, you don't have you don't have a big mental fortitude. That's one thing. That's one thing. Um, that protects people. It don't protect people from mental attacks or psychological what you call it? Psychic attacks. Don't protect, but if you have a vast reserve, right? If you have a vast reserve of mental fortitude where you can take 72 hours of torture. For some people they've been taking years of torture. So you've been living on a cloud all your life, not going to be prepared because these demons don't play fear. They don't all of that stuff that people romanticize because TV have taught you this. Don't even play in the rule books of demons. Don't even play in the rule books of demons. Demons don't care about those stuff. They want you care about it though, cause it make you vulnerable. Cause when they take it away, right? Cause um, demo, demo or demo means to give, meaning that you have to offer something in exchange. They only come to take. This is why the Santa Claus story is all about getting shit, right? And he wears the big red suit. He has a rosy red nose and rosy red cheeks. And he has well, the reindeers and all them shit there around the time where the earth dies off or looking to rebirth itself. That's when him come up and give you presents. And they claim that this is the day of Jesus' birth. as an excuse to revamp Yule or whatever, right? And some other demonic creatures, right? So it's all symbolism. The imagination is more powerful than what you could ever imagine once you tap into it. And it's not like how we think. The imagination is like basically the steering wheel, right? There's other mechanism that goes part of it, but play a part of it, right? But there is energy from mental energy. Thoughts and ideas have its own energy. It's considered yin energy by the Asians, right? Um, but it is it that connects us to heaven or the ethers, right? This is why they always have these sky gods that are associated with it, right? That's what they're trying to associate with it or invoke when they have Zeus and which other god sky god there is? Zeus and what's this? Jupiter, etc. etc. Right? So um, 1 minute, sorry. I'm not reading through a book. I'm just citing through my head what what I'm going to talk about. No, 'cause I don't want to be repeating myself because I'm coming straight off the dome. And I don't want to go on and go on and go on about things until I just sound like I'm rambling or I sound like I'm precise. You know, and I'm not really too big on the organized stuff. Like, I'm not really too big on like like those little documentaries. Like you see, I can pull off with the resources I have. You know, so I just want to come and express my self. This is not. I don't want these things think I'm saying these things with these like as you Americans would call skinwalkers or whatever, right? These witches or whatever, these demons. Like I saying things to you know. I'm not trying to get up into anybody's crossfire. Like I have my understanding now. I've always had this understanding. I don't know why so much what the what why me? I don't know why me. Like, I feel like whether or not I would already have this knowledge that I have, or even have this even a deeper subconscious impression that I have and focus on what's supposed to be focused on, right? Certain things is not your responsibility. Um, but I am for the awakening, and cycle them demons out here like whatever whatever it takes, really, whatever it takes. So it's not really out of cowardice. It's not really out of saying stuff like don't feel like I have the full truth or anybody has the full truth. But the things I'm grasping, you know, things I'm grasping is beyond what they're telling us currently or any adaptation of, you know, uh, there's just, there, what they calling spirits. Like in the Bible tell you said there's no spirits on this earth or plane. There's no spirits. They're all demons. That's not your grandmother. That's not your that's not your cat that died last week. It's a demon. What would I even a cat? You know, like even animals don't have certain capacities to even, you know, linger like that. And certain behaviors animals are doing, even animals nowadays. Well, for the longest times, animals always been the easiest vessel. That's why even in the Bible, it told you like when Jesus cast out a demon out of a woman, right? Um, the demon told Jesus to put him inside the pig, the boar, and then he ran off the hill and killed itself, right? So, you know, demons are manifested in animals also, incarnated in animals also. They're more common, concentrated in animals, the well, lower level ones. The D, there's like, there's like four rankings. You have D rank, you have C rank, you have B rank, you have A rank. And you also have this elitist rank, which is S class. These would be like for like tight levels or Nephilim level or Anunnaki level or reptilian level. Then you have this subclass that's in between, like it can be in between B and A or C, right? But like they're like generals and they run their own district in the nine realms, right? So they're not really high level, but they hold like some leadership role, kind of way, right? They hold this leadership role, and it's not like they instruct, but I don't really know, cause I don't really astral project in those places or deal with those places. It's just understandings and downloads and stuff I read and research, but I don't really do dabble with a craft though. I don't really dabble too much with the craft, but you know, from if you read the Solomon, if you know about the Solomon and Star Solomon and stuff with Solomon, and you know, I don't really want to talk about that. Understand how the seals work. Cause even flat earthers think that the earth is flat. When it don't have nothing to do with the earth being flat, it was always an esoteric understanding of Midgard or seals. seals or domains, right? Domains like dominions. So it has nothing to do with the earth being flat. The firmament, the firmament, firm mental, firm mind, firm moon. You see me? Like it's so much levels to it. People might think that these things sound bonkers, or people won't be able to open their eyes to it, um, cause they can't sense it. And the reason why you can't sense it, cause they're making you have some kind of internal conflict instead of being becoming, cause you fear there's a side of you that's fighting for control, but there's a fear of control. And when you have imbalance like that, right? Cause there's two wolves, right? But I'm not gonna talk about them now. Um, this is why I say, like, I'm not going to leave that jive. This is why I say Warden is the I don't want to give it no term that anybody is not gonna fully understand. But the eye in the pyramid, that's what they're talking about. The seat of God, the third, let's say third eye, right? Warden, Odin, Wednesday, right? So I saying like, yo, there's two wolves, Fenrir and what's his name? Haiti, Fenrir is the wolf, the mocking wolf, and Hati is the wolf that hates, right? But you always go with the mocking wolf, right? That's the normal human being in a detrimental situation, born into a detrimental situation, right? Because God is benevolent, but the thing is, He gave us free will. So to give us free will, will is representative of spirit, spirit is representative of money. And like what you can see with money, you can give away all your money till you become in debt. So the thing is, how people becoming soul trap is because they're doing misdeeds and becoming in debt to the devil. You're no longer a servant of God because God's servants, God don't have no servants. Warden don't have no servant. I'm not using like I'm indicting Warden as because I am not Norse Viking, but is all to express an idea, right? Because if I come here and I come up on this and express my cultural identity being from the Americas, now you going to get into all sorts of stuff with nobody not going to want take or gravitate to that because y'all already label it off as the seed of the serpent. right? With the plump serpent. So y'all label that as a seed. So to highlight y'all stuff with the Jewish and the Hebrew and the this and the that, right? So we Hebrew. So cause y'all coming like the eagle and we's the snake. So we brunch, right? The Holy Roman army rose again and destroyed Atlantis. But I don't hold no I don't hold no qualms. Cause I know I don't belong here. Not in the sense where what these people, crazy people talking, like I'm a different gender or some crazy fanatical stuff. It's not. I don't deal with fanatics, right? I don't deal with fanatics zero. So, um, thing is with me, why I feel like set me aside. I've always had the intention to, not been like say, people might think I'm neutral because they don't really know what's going on. But well, my thing is, I come to a vast understanding of, all these things that are not real. That's literally not real. And then even the things that are real, that seem real to us, is not even real either. So things like love, things like cause they come, for instance, if love is real, right? Why is there hate if something was just finitely true? Then there would not be a polarity opposite. That's that's from my opinion. Cause um, you loving something or cherishing something can make you become very hateful person, very hateful person. And it comes down to self discipline too. Cause say if you lose that object or a person, right? If you lose an object that you hold so dearly enough to sacrifice your own life, that you would put yourself in harm's way to to even go against a monster that's bigger than your own self, right? Then that don't make any sense. You just incited a vicious cycle of hate, of creating warfare. And I'm not saying like I don't want people to believe conflict in itself is wrong. Is wrong, but I feel like conflict, not on the large scale as how fucked up it is now, how divisive it is now, right? But conflict is a necessary wrong. I feel like conflict, you know, strife, pain, suffering, all these things. Um, if done at a certain capacity, you know, can make you grow, can make you evolve. So in this realm, pain and suffering is necessary for growth, right? Or you'll never survive. You'll never ever come to live, right? Cause every day you're worrying about not living instead of living, instead of actual living. So you fear sitting down in corridors, fearing to die every day, and not knowing that you're actually lowering your life force, um, becoming negative, and sometimes it's out of our control. And this is where I'm talking about demons come in place, because you have these clown demons, right, that take um indictment or mockery to being vilely unjust and putting people in certain predicaments that's impossible to come out of. That's why I mentioned earlier and said demons do not play fair. It make Do not play with demons. Demons do not, they're not there to serve mankind. Their only interest is to serve themselves. Some of them serve the devil. For the most part, they're serving the devil. So there's nothing you can really, whether blessing, whether knowledge, right? There's nothing you can really get from a demon. And the Bible, their book, shows you this, demonstrates to you this. Um, so I want to another live. I'll talk about Adam and Eve stories. Thus, a retelling of colonization, right? Another time, but with soul trafficking at an exponential rate is going on now. And they might be doing some weird stuff in Hollywood and some weird countries that would probably don't know where some rich guy owns some island, and doing some weird ritualistic satanic shit. And not mention, so they're opening portals, they're opening portals, and who's to say how far this really can go? Cause the sighting that they had in Miami, right? Miami. So there's possibly a whole underworld that's being run. And the guys that they're keeping under us under is to look to the stars. Look to the stars. No, not for do with no stars in the sense as where they want us to think. But there's none to I don't really think they care about me saying this, because they know this message not gonna reach a lot of people barely. Cause all they have it, they're running the whole world for. Like, I don't know, to tell you the honest truth. I don't know, cause I don't really fixate myself on the past as a person living in the present. Cause there's nothing, these, like, a lot of these people practicing these witchcraft will tell you, like, ancestor worship or contact some dead somebody. Just think to yourself, like, how can somebody who has not made it up to now tell you about, give you advice about what to do next, especially if they died by unnatural causes. Right? Say if they died by somebody murdering them, somebody, in those kind of positions, right? What knowledge could they have to share with you if on this realm they couldn't they weren't the survival of the fittest, right? If it's survival of the fittest, you weren't fit enough to, so there's nothing you can share with me. There's not no knowledge you can really share. Even say, all right, your dead mother, like in the case of for me, um, my dead mother sharing information or details about more about me or herself. Or the thing is, I've never seen my mother before. So anything that's monitoring me could impose upon, basically come with certain characteristics of how I imagine her, uh, have me have the impression that this spirit is my mother when my mother probably don't even look like that. Or, some uncharacteristically don't have some consistency with what, because they're rewriting history, right? So the thing is, the mind is like a double-edged blade, and if you're not conscious or or aware of the dangers of wielding your mind, you can end up cut yourself to near death, traumatize yourself, right? So that's why I say, like, certain things, certain people um shouldn't be practicing if they're not putting themselves. Cause meditation is one thing, can take you so far, but it does not build up mental fortitude that you need to do or practice. This is why even some of them, you see me, some of these occultistic lodges and all them shit here. Why you think they're raping these people up in the ass and doing putting these people through all these weird rituals, right? Cause it's the quickest way for them to build up these people um mental fortitude by putting them into these distressful situations, right? Basically hoodwinking them, and it's either now left for them to die or survive, right? So that's how they're able to move up the ranks. You see me? I don't think they really care about me expressing that, but I can get for talk about these things because I wasn't really part of the organization anyways, and I live in a third world country. I don't know why niggas out here was kind of like they're really part of some order or some shit. They could have just left me alone. Could have just left me alone, the fuck alone, and things. Yeah, nobody wouldn't be out here talking this shit. But no, niggas are telling you, niggas possessed by demons, bro. Niggas possessed by demons, bro. And I'm not going to talk about Sukuyant in this live stream. Well, what Sukuyant is a Creole, or you can say like a Caribbean or West Indian vampire. That's a West Indian vampire. But there's soul trafficking. So all around you, there's demonic forces that's just in the air, just waiting, lurking. You're not going to be able to see them because your sensor is, I guess, turned off. Like, you have the antennas, everything there, what because you you're so materialistic. You're so materialistic that you can't sense them. That's my only understanding. It's just like how that's the simple way to explain it. But certain hormones just have released in your body because you made them dormant because how you live in life, like what I was saying, like, when you live a certain way, when you live like in peacetime or soft, you know. I'm saying like all people in have this inability to detect them, or I'm not even making a big deal. Cause I don't, this is the thing. This is the thing. I want to tell people. You don't want to see it. You don't want how these people marginalizing these things on the internet. You know, if it was something different back then, now it's so hideous. You don't want to see it. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want to hear. You don't want. You wish it. You wasn't here. You're a sane person who haven't built up your mind. You don't want to be. You don't want. You probably just. If you were to see it, you probably just get up and kill yourself, and not knowing, thinking, sir, is you fully consciously want to kill yourself when it's really these things you made yourself vulnerable and susceptible by psychic attacks, and they supplant this seed or probably took over your body and now trying to make you kill yourself. Right? Cause you witness them. So yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to hear them. You don't want to see them. You don't want. No, you don't want. The most you want to be able to do, you feel like for actively do is probably detect them so you can just, know for move around them. Yeah, you're not gonna really be as afraid as you are, as as a typical person, but you just want to know for move around them. But it take a lot of energy to do the work that was Jesus is doing, because you're using your own energy and time for buying demons, cast them out, and this burn up calories, actual calories, right? For buying demons, cast them out, destroy them, stuff like that. And it's all experimental. So to grow these abilities, or whatever you want to call them, you know, you want it's through creativity, right? So we and truly, I don't want to give nobody no ideas or anything, but you don't want none for do with them or see them. So when people telling you about um open up your third eye and third eye this and third eye that, is a natural. process of the human anatomy. You see me? If your pineal gland is not calcified, and even if it's calcified, it's still actively working unless you would disappear from reality. Cause it and the pituitary gland act as like, what you call it? Not a generator, but a conduit to manifest yourself into the avatar that you're in. Right? So I've already explained this, but I'm not sure if it's on this platform. But it act like a conduit, and there's no what is the significance is the frontal lobe as the third eye, because it's another third eye. It's actually a fourth eye, but it's also referred as the third eye, right? Because that's where your creativity come or your imagination come from, right? Remember earlier I stated that your imagination is like the steering wheel, right? It's just like the steering wheel. Um, but so how some of these gurus tell you about the going on the path of success, and some of them is false prophet. You can manifest and do what basically whatever you feel like, and all your dreams gonna come true. If it don't manifest, is you just not doing it properly. It's always part of them scam. I'm not saying I fall victim of it, but I'm just trying to tell people now that who might be listening to this in the future or whenever, that if you're still on that, you, you might with these the stuff not manifesting. I don't like for some manifest. I think it's manifest differently from that. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But you have to work towards things, train, gain wisdom. Things don't come to you because you ask for it, or you have to be in the position. You have to not only be in the position, you also have to. And this is where these people who in Hollywood and all these other places, because they want to subjugate it to Hollywood when it's everywhere. Everywhere is the same thing. It's just Hollywood is being exposed because they've been the pinnacle. They literally the television, dealing with television, media, right? Guy, this goes to high schools, to colleges, to literal colleges, like even the ones them in the state with all them secret cultistic um fraternities, orders and all them shit there, right? This everywhere. Everywhere with they're doing the same thing around this planet. But they want this is the impression that the sheltered people have it as like everybody, like we call those the atheists, or the atheists, right? Everybody has the inner potential of good, when that's not the case. Some people brought on this earth or sent to this earth to come create mischief, right? And until we come to an impartial understanding, well, we don't need to come to no impartial understanding of anything. Cause I'm in my body what people need to understand. People do things based upon they brought up see, right? Well, that's half of it. That's half of it. But exposure does help you um deviate to a certain direction than others. But your impression of things, right? Because some people can have bad impression of one particular thing, and then our next person can have a good impression of a certain particular thing, right? But we generally understand that even the person who, it could be either bad or good. Like, for instance, a person who likes to have intimacy with dead corpses, right? To a normal person like me and yourself, right? That would seem quite revolting, right? Quite revolting, and to be put into a predicament in as that you wouldn't feel like near that you don't know what to do, where you maybe put yourself compromise your own well-being, right? Because you're not going to do that, right? Because your subconscious mind seeing how filthy, right? You rather go roll around in shit than for go do that filthy act. Cause that go attach to your soul. That go attach to your soul. The one thing you can filthy up this vessel, can do all sort of shit to this vessel. But my soul is something else, right? You can't filthy up my soul like that for me to have sex with. But for the next man now, right? He might even enjoy doing that. He be saying, no, I do this for free in my head. Like he's saying in his head, he does this for free. I know you're gonna pay him $1 million to go do this. That's how him going to see that as a blessing. Right? Not knowing say the devil don't bless his people. Devil don't bless his people. Wasn't a blessing. Was a trap. Was a trap. Right? Until niggas realize, say, okay, go spend off all this money, don't live this high life. I know I have to go maintain this high life, right? What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to keep on coming back for more. So I'm here thinking, so the next time the devil go, I'm going to put in one for the devil, right? Devil don't do things twice. No one you do the same thing twice. You are gonna want you have you do something where you don't want to do. For sure your complete utter loyalty to him. Right? So now you're stuck. You're trapped. Cause you can't run to the people cause you just commit this heinous act publicly with the devil have can blackmail you now say, oh, see me here in fucking dead corpse of what seems like to be here, your sister, right? So you see me, him have to find him place now at the devil's feet, right? Like the good humble servant is. That's how some of them turn out to become good humble servants to the devil. Cause the devil humble for him servants them. Devil can film servants them move freely and think freely. You crazy? You crazy? They have to do if the devil said jump, they not even have to ask how why. Them just have to know. That's how the devil move. Like 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 how some of us men were dealing with these women, right? Or they just fucking acting like we're supposed to be psychic or some shit. I don't even know how that even work. I don't even really put up with that shit. You see me? You guys put up with that shit. Have me I play like fucking witchcraft in my house like and there's two of us supposed to be Christian. But for some reason you conducting yourself like me practice witchcraft too. You see me? You see me? I don't know. I know people might say, oh some of the stuff like I saying that witchcraft and the stuff I talking about is two different things. Witchcraft witchcraft is mostly pertaining to somewhat dealing with spirits, and majority of them don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Majority of it is just like cycling through the subconscious mind until something stick where you do like say all right, I look for it's not they're not looking for patterns basically. They don't really recognize patterns or even energy or frequency. They just do this one thing that they believe solely in their heart that going produce this result. Or they just go serve the devil, become a subject of the devil, cause the devil don't provide any of his subjects or servants with wisdom. Some have them, make a fool out of themselves. That's why them have them doing all these weird shit with the orgies and the women acting all crazy and lunatic and all them stuff there is to make a fool out of is mockery. Is mockery to human beings is like an insult to human beings. Right? To make human beings act lower than themselves, like nothing more than mere animals, right? And less than animals. Because the quality animals aren't inherently malevolent. Although you have some animals that would be in the category of being malevolent, right? Like even say piranhas. And this is like why so much demons out there are even the realm of demons will seem like they're associated with aquatic, being aquatic, right? But that's something I need to get into deeper on another time. God, certain things that we're talking about this will take you off into a tangent. Oh, the devil shares no wisdom with his subjects. No, the devil don't share no wisdom with his subjects. He can't have them into the known because they're pawns. They're pawns on a checkerboard, right? Each, pawn has their position, right? So the black and white on the checkerboard, let's say in this instance, in this interpretation, represent privilege and non-privilege, superiority and inferiority. We in a decade where, in an era where, they've ruined the scale of what's equality. right? When really and truly is about equity, right? About equality. When things don't, is not really equal, it's just setting up this board for them to be able to play this game, right? So some people will be on the space where it's privilege, that's the white space, and then you have the people them who on the space where it's non-privilege, but they're on either side of the board, whether they're serving good or they're serving evil, right? But they're all serving a purpose. If you don't have a purpose in life, I'm telling you, life going make her give you a purpose. Life going give you a purpose. If you don't make something out of yourself, or you don't control, because you notice the theme of this era for lose control of themselves, to lose control of their mind, even with especially with these women, right? And then they want to blame us men, like we can't control them, or that's why them acting up, or some some immature foolishness, dumb excuse to say, to give them way to act, you know, basically go in public and act like a baby, right? But really and truly, majority, like for the most part, they possess. They possess, but because of how it's marginalizing media possession, we have this interpretation, say, or if they're not acting in, if they don't have these symptoms that in these movies, that's illustrated in these movies, then they're perfectly normal, right? If their head not spinning round and all them shit here, and some niggas be seeing this shit, and be quiet, right? But because their head not spinning around and they're not levitating off the ground or doing some kind of fuckery where beyond that's supernatural, right? They they they're not gonna consider them as, or they're not gonna notice that they're being possessed, right? But if you ask them, if you really talk to them or communicate to them, I don't want to get too deep, but I had my niece. It seemed like she was possessed by a demon, and the name that she gave me was Amy. This Amy wasn't even even Amy wasn't even a male, wasn't even a girl or a female, was a male, right? It's a whole heap with that, right? I'm not even gonna get into that. Tell you honest truth, cause I'm telling you, people, it's not so. Watching the hero's journey seems fascinating when you watching it from the fourth wall, but in that position, it was like hell, and certain things is going to be hard to express, or the trauma, the pain, the sorrow, the loss. Wasn't It didn't really feel like we was going to even win in the first place, or we know what was going on, even when we feel like we come closer, or we acquired something, right? We we level up with this, with that. It still feel like You know, some either missing, some we're not getting, and then sometimes we just realize like, why am I doing this anyway? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Cause you have people look and say like, people sometimes like, I just hope I'm not doing something that would allude to me being possessed. Cause I be myself. I be, I'm an open guy, right? I'm an open book, right? Man, I really take one thing with me. I learn. It's not learn. From my bond, I don't really take things too serious. So that's why I'm able to persevere as screwed up as it got for me. I'll make joke about it myself. Not that the fact that I'm masochistic or anything like that. Like like life does fucked up sometimes, and you just have to bear the brunt of it. And that's why I'm telling people that you live your life, and you can't really, especially how the world is, it is a whole facade now. You can't really trust people like you once coulda, or trust the good merit of people, because people not really trying to help people no more. People don't really have no good interest by people. But people, you have people right now create this business and poisoning people, right? Poisoning tons of people, right? Usually these ones, their business very lucrative, right? And what you notice, their shit is the most cheapest to keep you coming back, right? Keep you coming back. But that's the soul trap. That's the soul trap for you. So now coming off this, I just want to say I appreciate you too for providing this platform. Whether the nature was good or bad or whatever on the agenda was, there's a lot of good that it has brought in my life. So I can be grateful for that. So I appreciate the good that it brought into my life. It gave me connection to people um on the other side, and made me able to learn a lot of things, um come across a lot of new information, even help me boost up my confidence, boost up my doing these things from a very young age. So I really appreciate YouTube, and that's one thing that and I don't feel materialistic about YouTube or these platforms. Well, YouTube is, let's just state to anybody who's like become a fan or anything. Um, YouTube is basically the only platform, a reliable platform I listen to. I don't know by now. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. 'Cause I have the freedom to be on Instagram now. But I'm mostly on YouTube researching, because the information on YouTube is just maybe now you find some
viable information on platforms like Instagram, but not really. But YouTube is where you want to get, you know, the cutting board type information. If you want to get that, you go straight to YouTube. Like, you know, there's no, for most part, there's no mute. No sense, not much censorship on YouTube. Although a lot of, people will make it seem like the censorship, the censoring YouTube. Why they say that is because they're censoring. If you say certain things, you're not gonna get. They're not gonna pay you out of their pocket for it. Well, I don't know. I don't have no contract with YouTube. I don't do. Make it. I'm not profiting anything. As I don't even have no. I don't even have no subscribers or anything. So currently, it's not that I have zero subscribers or anything currently. For the future people, I do, but they're very few, and it don't seem like it's accumulating anything. So it's alright to me, cause don't I see why I know the reason why. I know the reason why. Um, I don't really care. So the soul trap. I I coming off now.